Right, hi and welcome to the newest episode of I Will Try. And today this is more of a tutorial, which are apparently pretty beloved on YouTube. So I was confronted with my channel with the problem that I had my equipment and I want to take some cool footage of stuff that I'm doing outdoors. And the problem is where I'm going, there's not really a safe place for my equipment. So there can be dust and stuff even on the way to this location. So what I came up with is to buy a nice PeliCase, the Peli protective case, outdoor case, pretty cool, watertight, airtight, so everything I need. But it came with this pick and plug foam and I didn't really like the concept of that. So what I chose to do was buy some foam myself, and in this video I'm trying to show you how to set up your PeliCase properly, because as I said, I didn't really like the concept of the pick and plug foam. So what I did was I went to my local hardware store and or software store, pretty bad, okay, and bought these shapes here of foam. And what I did was I bought several layers, so I was a bit more flexible with my setup. So these are now cut in the same size as my PeliCase, so when I put this in, it fits just snugly, really nice. Now what you want to do now is take your equipment, such as your camera, and put it in an oven, but just shortly, so about 200 degrees centigrade for like 5 minutes, so it's getting really nice and hot. And then you take this hot camera, beware, don't burn yourself, and put it on the foam, and then it will melt. Alright, obviously you don't want to do that. What you want to do is cutting. That's what I did. How did I do that? Well, cue the A-Team music.
No, we can't use that. That's licensed.
Well, what do you have then?
Some royalty-free music.
Alright, cue that. Ah, shit. What you want to do now is to actually draw a shape of your equipment that you want to put in here, draw it on paper, cut it out. And what this does is it does two things. One, you can really nicely check out your whole setup, basically how you want to put it. So really making most of the space that you have at hand. And secondly, you can check or double check basically if the shape is right by just when you cut it out, then you can put your equipment through that hole in the paper and really check if that is the right size and shape, because there's nothing worse than cutting it out and realizing that your hole that you cut is too big and it's wobbling around in your PeliCase. So that's what you want to avoid. So yeah, after you've done this, you can check out if the setup is nice, and with that I recommend you check two things. One, that it's evenly distributed, so using all the space, but leaving some space at the sides to spare, you know, so you have this kind of cushioning effect to the sides. And also please do yourself a favor and put the heavier things, such as the camera itself, if you have something like the camera or a pistol or whatever you want to put in there, in the center, because then the cushioning effect is much larger instead than when you have it, you know, closer to the sides. So I recommend you do that first, you know, do the whole setup thing, check it, double check it, and make most out of the space that has been given to you by your favorite PeliCase, and then you can start cutting it out. Regarding the cutting out part, I heard several opinions. Some guys even said, you know, make the foam wet, put it in the freezer, let it sit there, and then when it's frozen you can use a saw. I recommend you don't do that. Others have said, you know, you can cast your camera, put it in a sealed bag and cast it, and then you have a cast that you can heat it up and then melt your way into the foam. I recommend you don't do that either, because I talked to the guy who sold me the foam, and he said with that kind of foam what you get then is sticky parts and this molten parts at at the outline of your hole, and you don't want that either. So everything I recommend is just a really sharp knife, like this one, that you can buy really cheap, and then just cut it out nicely. Make sure that you cut, you know, in a 90-degree angle. That's everything you have to do basically. And yeah, then you can start cutting. Alright, so what happened now is my mic just left me hanging, so yeah, equipment, huh? Never know. Alright, so I think now everything that needs, I have my shapes here, just the beginning of course. I will do some more later. You just fit them back in there, fits really nicely. Just stack them on top like a layer cake. And once you are done with that, obviously if you need some fine tuning, of course you can just go back with the sharp knife and cut it out nicely. And once you've done that, you have your PeliCase set up. I hope that helped. I hope I was able to convince you that melting or freezing or messing with temperature just generally is not the best idea to handle that. And yeah, now you get your nice PeliCase with all these shapes in here. If you have a PeliCase yourself, post some pictures, put it in the comments. I'd really love to see your solutions. Thanks a lot for watching, and yeah, keep trying. See you later. Bye bye.